How you doing today, folks? I've recorded this video 4 different times. I'm a little frustrated. My mic died twice. Another time it just did not record anything. Another time the whole thing was like, for some reason, in like 420p. Like, even though it's recording right now in 4K, it uploaded in 420p and I had to re-download the whole thing, and I'm frustrated. But as always, folks, how you doing today? This is a knife that I did not think I would like. I actually thought I would freaking hate it. The only reason why I even have this knife is I got a really, really good trade offer for it, to where I was like, worst comes to worst, I can probably flip this knife for double the price. So I'm like, all right, it's worth it to me. This person wants this knife. I don't want this knife, but I can, make money down the line if need be. So, fuck it. One of the things in this industry that I love is that occasionally there are products that look interesting that you just think will never actually work with you. And sometimes you get them in hand, you're just like, oh. Now, if you ever watched the movie Clerks 2, where Jay hears the music, goes, dun, 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 and then he just goes, oh. Like the Buffalo Bill, Silence of the Lambs reference. As soon as I got this knife in hand, that was me. I was like, oh, it's kind of heavy. I like that. Felt the action. I was like, oh, nice snappy piece. Held it like this. I was like, this feels like shit. I have almost 3 fingers hanging off the edge. This is completely off, halfway off. Yep, this is a miss. But then I was like, you know what? Let's try the finger choil. And I was just like, oh. I still have 2 whole fingers hanging off the edge of this knife. So this is off, and this is off, and this is part way off. No, it's actually no, it's just 2 fingers. This is off a little bit, but it's such a small amount, it doesn't really matter. But I still have 2 fingers hanging off the edge, and it still feels perfect. Like, there's no hot spots, there's no cold spots, there's no warm spots. It feels amazing. And most importantly, it feels secure. Like, this locks in my grip. Now, I have smaller knives that sometimes I carry just to deal with more like fear-friendly crowds or whatever. Mostly I carry the Devo Knives Stout, which I actually really like that knife as far as being a smaller knife. And when I open it, I'll be like, to avoid scaring folks. But normally speaking, smaller knives don't really fit in my hand. I have big ass hands, it's just one of those things. So when a design is so thoughtfully created that it'll fit someone with little baby ass hands, but also someone with size 2XL hands, that's crazy. From a small to medium to a 2XL is a tremendous gap. And this fits comfortably my size 2XL hands. Yes, I got fingers hanging off the edge. And normally speaking, that is a deal breaker. For the Yum Num Zan, which is one of my favorite knives of all time, my pinky hangs off the edge of this knife. So I have to use a lanyard. Because of that, the ergonomics suffer. I still think it's an absolutely incredible knife. I love this thing, but it's not ideal. But this, on the other hand, despite its size, I don't need a lanyard. I don't need anything extra. Yeah, it looks a little ridiculous because it's such a small blade compared to my hand. You're just like, what the fuck? But it feels amazing. Now, let's talk about, first and foremost, the fit and finish, the aesthetics, the ergonomics, a little more heavy, and then the edge geometry. Aesthetically wise, this brass version of the ProTech PT Plus, like, that looks so good. Most importantly, this is all super, super like smooth and chamfered. It almost looks like a hard edge because it's done so well, but it's just a very subtle contour to where there's no hot spots or anything like that around the actual knife. You have jimping right here and jimping right here, and it adds to it, but it does not create a hot spot. And jimping is one of those things that's almost like an art form. And most companies honestly get it wrong because you don't need hyper aggressive jimping to lock your hand in. You just need good jimping. This has great jimping with even doing this. Like, there's no hot spots. Doesn't bother me at all. Same thing right here. There's no hot spots. Doesn't bother me at all. It just feels honestly amazing. Now, as far as the carry, I love Strider knives, right? But you're always going to have that much sticking out of your pocket, just part of the actual design. And I thought that was always going to be the case, but somehow ProTech created a deep carry Strider. And it does indeed deep carry. This freaking disappears in your pocket to where you really cannot see it at all. Now, to be clear, I don't care about shit like that. I'm not trying to hide my knife from anybody or whatever. So it's one of those things that's not really a deal breaker to me. I love this knife. I carry it all the freaking time. But yeah, there's a lot hanging out of the pocket. Here, there's not at all. But some people really care about that, right? I'm not one of them. But just the fact that they actually accomplished that, that's great. That's really, really good. The clip also has excellent retention. Now, these scales are really, really smooth and almost feel like almost polished, right? So it'll be very, very easy to slide out of the pocket and possibly fall. But I've carried this knife pretty extensively, and it's never even remotely popped out. Now, sometimes I'll carry a knife and I'll also go boop and put it back in my pocket because it kind of starts to slide out. This one locks in pretty much perfectly. Beyond all that, again, the ergonomics are amazing. You can't even feel this clip in hand. That's an amazing job. Now, as far as the edge geometry, this is a freaking little laser beam. Holy crap, y'all. This thing is so goddamn sharp. I don't really have anything around to demonstrate that, unfortunately. Well, I guess I'll use this little tube. So, a little bit of tubing. Nothing. Let's double it up. A little bit of tubing. Nothing. Like, it's so fucking sharp. It shaves receipt paper. It'll split a hair if you want to do that super extra stuff. But for actual little bits of work, like no resistance at all. Would this be the greatest knife for hard use? Probably not, because it is so damn small. I would want something bigger. But theoretically, you could definitely use it for hard use. As far as generalized EDC tasks, it is one of the best edge geometry knives I have ever handled. It's ridiculous. Now, as far as the aesthetics, yes, I love this. But this blade, which is kind of hard to see, has satin right here and then a black DLC right here. I don't know why they did that. I really, really don't. And it looks all satin, possibly like a little grind line on camera, at least on my phone right now. But it is very, very dark in person. It doesn't really match the knife. Now, if this is black and the hardware is black and everything else and it all kind of ties together, maybe. But if that was the case, I'd almost want a full DLC blade. Instead, you get this little like kind of two-tone thing with polished flats and then this piece right here. And I mean, it is what it is. This is a Magnum cut blade, so it's not going to rust pretty much ever. This is one of my favorite user knives. It's in my pocket a lot. I sweat a pretty obscene amount. I've never rusted that blade. I've rusted M390, 20CV, S35, S45. There's a long list of steels that have rusted in my fucking Swamp Thing pockets, right? My pockets are disgusting. I reach my hand in my own pocket and go, ew. I have to like wipe shit off all the fucking time. It's nasty, y'all. It's never rusted. Magnum cut, very, very corrosion resistant steel. So you don't even need the DLC. It's just like an aesthetic thing. And aesthetic wise, to me, I think it's kind of a miss. I would have preferred either just a straight satin blade or just a straight black blade. The middle ground to me is just eh. But as far as the actual handle goes, I love that. I think that is freaking beautiful. Now, ergonomically, I spoke about this briefly. Let me get into a little bit heavier of a detail. My girl has size small hands. She has baby hands. It is ridiculous. It fits her comfortably. Like, she really, really likes that knife. I brought this knife to work and showed him a friend of mine named Lewis, and it fits him. He has size large hands perfectly. I gave this briefly to a friend of mine named Nate, who has medium hands. But he has medium, like hard working hands. So he did construction for years, does parkour pretty regularly. He does CrossFit and some other stuff. He also fought for our country. It fits his medium size, beefy hands perfectly. It fits my size 2XL hands perfectly. Now, I don't mean to where like it fits okay. I mean to where like it fits like it was made for me. And they all feel the exact same way. That is something that honestly I have never been able to say about a knife. Y'all, I buy, sell, and trade on a daily basis. I have owned thousands and thousands of knives. Pretty much every single knife out there, with only a very few exceptions, have I not at one point in time owned or at the very least handled. Even despite that, this is the only knife I have ever been able to say that with. That alone deserves a 10. What the hell? How is that possible? From size small to size 2XL being able to fit perfectly. That's insane. So, shout out to ProTech, shout out to Strider, shout out to the designers, like, because god damn, that's impressive. So, edge geometry wise for EDC tasks, it's a 10. This is ridiculous. Hard use, probably a 9, but that's not so much from the edge geometry itself. It's more because of the fundamental of the knife. Just a smaller piece. Normally, you want a bigger blade for like harder use tasks because you're having that blade really close to your fucking hand. So, normally speaking, you want it a little further out and not quite so just deep in there. So for me, it's a little bit of a miss in that category. But as far as EDC tasks, 10. Ergonomics, 10. What the hell? Carry wise, 10. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Aesthetics, the handle, 10 for me. The blade, 2. I fucking hate it. I hate that two-tone shit. Maybe you love it and that's cool, but me personally, I fucking hate it. I think it subtracts from the knife so much. Now, that all leads me to a score that I'm going to give 2 scores, right, just to be fair, because, you know, aesthetic shouldn't be that big of a deal. But for me, it is, because I'm just a bougie fuck sometimes. But 2 scores, right? For the vast majority of people, the weight might be an issue because it is so small and it weighs like 6 ounces. They're going to be like, oh, this feels really heavy. I like the weight, so I love that. Most people will not, unless they actually really enjoy brass, which the way I do, I love brass knives. Copper, less so. But brass, I freaking love. But EDC wise, if you like a heavier knife, 10. It's insane. EDC wise, if you like a lighter knife, probably a 6. It's pretty damn heavy because it's so small. You really feel that weight. Personally, I love that. If you don't, it's probably going to be a very, very hard miss for you. My personal score, and this is again primarily because I hate that fucking blade style. I hate the way it looks. It's going to be an 8. If it had either a pure satin blade, 10. Nah, 9. Let's be fair. I want a bigger knife. Yes, it fits my size of hands. Amazing. That's an amazing piece. But if that's my personal score, give it an 8. It's still an amazing score. It still qualifies as very, very fucking good. But I don't love it. But it's also nitpicking because, again, it fits size small to size 2XL hands perfectly. So I'm so torn on this knife. I really, really fucking like it way more than I thought I ever would. But it's still not going to be a keeper because I like bigger knives. But even still, like, you know, I can't say anything bad about it ergonomically wise. That's just crazy to me. But as my personalized score, again, an 8. If you like a heavier EDC, a 10. If you like a lighter EDC, less than that, obviously. So, you know, your mileage is definitely going to vary. But me personally, I thought I would hate this knife. When I say I had no interest in this piece when it came out, I mean that I literally had no interest. I was like, oh, that's pretty. Oh, it's a PT. Fuck that. That is where my mind was at immediately. Just completely dismissed it because I have owned a PT and it did not have this Goldilocks thing to it. This is just the Plus, which is a little bit thicker overall and just a little bit longer. It's a very minute detail. It's not much thicker and it's not much longer. It's very subtle. And somehow within that subtlety, they found something that is damn near perfect or literally perfect ergonomic wise, which is nuts. And I'm just rambling now because this knife fucking impresses me, y'all. I'm big on being fully uncensored and just letting my thoughts run wild. And right now, I'm like, how the fuck does this exist? And I'll probably talk about this for the next half hour if I let myself. So I'm going to cut it off here. As always, folks, I love you all. If you have this knife, what do you think about it, man? Is it perfect for you as well? Does it have any problems for you? Like, does it fit your size of hand? Because in my experience, this is unmatched. It's crazy. But as always, folks, I love you all. Please take care and bye-bye.